What's going on YouTube? It's Tempest. Uh, I have a deck profile for you guys. I thought I posted this one a while back when I got the deck, but I went through my videos and it turns out that I don't actually have a new profile for it. This is my Cositis Granblue deck. I built it a little while ago. I'm gonna update it hopefully next month when the new set comes out with all the new Granblue stuff. Um, that's gonna make it a lot better than it is right now. I thought I posted the update for this, but I didn't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just post to you the list that I currently have. I think this is about as good as Granblue can get right now, with a few tech options here and there. So I'm starting with Skeleton Assault Troops Captain. Basically, the grade 3s in this deck. You're playing 4 Cositis and you're playing 4 grade 3 rearguard attackers. So basically, when you go to search for a grade 3 with this card, this is the one where you combo some, put them in a soul, search for a grade 3, or check top 5 for a grade 3. No matter what you get, it's going to be useful. You'll be able to ride Cositis and use his ability to get something, to get a +1 from drop zone, or you can just call a grade 3 from your hand and have a sweet early game rearguard. So you can play the Night Kid if you want, but in this deck, the way I have it set up, I don't have a lot of graveyard targets to bring back per se, so there's not really any point in dumping anything right away. So I feel like this guy is better than the Night Kid in this build at least. For triggers, it's 8 crit for 4 stand, so 4 vanilla criticals, 4 Rush Seas Banshee. You can put her into your soul to draw a card. It's really helpful, and I'll explain why later. 2 vanilla stands, and then 2 Hades Steersman. His effect is if he's in your drop zone when you ride a grade 3, you can superior call him behind your grade 3 if there's an open rearguard circle behind it. So there's not really any point in doing that necessarily unless you need to like kill it or something. But it is a decent well, it's not even that decent in booster. It's only 3K. So I mean, you can play other vanilla stands if you want. This guy is just not bad though. Like you could play him if you want or not. It's just another stand trigger. And then 4 heals, like I said. I'm playing the stands because I am playing, like I said, grade 3 rearguards, which are really cool in this deck. So yeah, stands are kind of nice, and they're really good at applying pressure. For grade 1s, you have 4 Romarios. Yeah, just an AK vanilla booster for anything. This deck has some issues hitting for big stages mid game, so you need 4 of this guy because like your grade 1s are all like 5 and 6K boosters except for this guy, so you kind of want him to help you maximize your power. 2 Samurai Spirit. Basically, I only want to play 2 of this guy because he's not searchable. There's no point in like using him. Really, when you because what he does is he kind of wants one to kill a Granblue rearguard and superior call himself. But when you ride Cositis, he'll let you counterblast 2 to search for anything. So more than likely, you're already going to have an AK vanilla either in the grave, either an AK vanilla or like something that'll give you a plus if you call it. So normally this guy isn't really necessary. He's only in here as a 2-up to help you fix your columns when you get like bad stuff like triggers on board to kill. So yeah, I don't feel like you need to play any more than that. And also because your starter is a counterblast 1 and you want to use Cositis at least twice per game, you may or may not actually be able to counterblast 1 for him. So unless you can unflip damage, so he's only at 2 because you don't want to use him too much in a game. Yeah. 2 Dancing Cutlass. Normally when you have the Samurai in the drop zone, you want to kill this guy to bring him out because he's only 5k boost. A Cutlass lets you Soul Blast 2 to draw a card when he's played on rearguard circle. This works if he's called from hand, deck, or drop zone, so it's pretty good, pretty versatile. Not a very good booster, but yeah, like I said, you can kill him to get Samurai Spirit back, which is kind of nice. 1 King Seahorse and then 1 Dragon Spirit. These basically can go behind any of your grade 3 Vanguard or rearguards. This guy ideally boosts Cositis, but they do the same thing. They help you apply pressure. So this guy, when he boosts an attack that hits, you can drop a card and then draw a card from deck. So it helps you fuel your graveyard and add consistency by helping you cycle through your cards. This guy is just an 11k Vanguard booster for Cositis. So ideally you want this guy behind your Vanguard. This guy can go either Vanguard or Rearguard. He's a consistency card. And I like to play 1 of each. You don't need to play more than 1 of each because like they both serve the same purpose, helping you apply pressure with your grade 3s. And then 4 perfect guards because those are mandatory. For grade 2s, 3 Commodore Blue Blood just because the 10k vanilla. Honestly, I think I might want to take this out for 3 Deadly Spirits. The only problem with that is Soul Loss 2, and my deck isn't very heavy on Soul right now, and it's only a 9k attacker, so I haven't decided yet, but I really like this the way it is because normally you can just do what you would need with it and then swing for 10. The only reason to put Deadly Spirit really is if you want to keep bringing back your grade 3s, because the grade 3 that lets you bring itself back has to retire a grade 2 or less, so if you have nothing, you can like retire something for Deadly Spirit and bring the dragon guy out. So that's the only reason you play Deadly Spirit. I don't feel like it's necessary in this build. I have them, and I'm just not playing them. MVP of the deck, 4 Ruin Shade. This card is a 9k. When it swings, you can mill 2 cards to have it gain 2000 power. That's really good. Basically what you do in this deck is you use this card to help you with probabilities, so it doesn't always help you. Sometimes it'll screw you over, but what happens usually is that you'll have this and like a Cositis on Vanguard, and then you'll have like say 25 cards left in deck, and you'll say, okay, so I've seen 6 of my triggers. That means there's 10 triggers left in deck. That means there's like a 1 in 3 chance of me drawing a trigger each twin drive. So that means I have like a 2/3 of chance of checking 1 trigger. So what you can say is, if you haven't seen a trigger in a while, you can just swing with your Vanguard, give power to rear guard when you hit a trigger. If you have seen a trigger recently, you can swing with her first, mill 2 cards, and then swing with your Vanguard, and then that gives you an increased chance of hitting a trigger because now you've seen 4 cards as opposed to just 2. So the only problem is that when you do the skill here and you hit a trigger, that's going to ruin your Vanguard's drive check. So you have to be careful when you use it. Like I said, you have to be careful when you count, but this card can be really clutch if you use it correctly. Then the last grade 2 is 4 Pietro, your damage and flipper. When he hits you and flip a damage, it's really necessary in this deck since everything is counterblast 1 or counterblast 2, and you counterblast quite a bit. Grade 3s, 4 Cositis. When he's placed in Vanguard, on Vanguard circle, you can counterblast 2 and bring something back from drop zone. So he's a Garmor, and he also has a 5k boost from Movement Break, so that's really good. He's 10k body only, which is kind of sucky, but it's, you know, not terrible. It's basically the only grade 3 you can play in this deck. 2 Thanatos, it's really good early game. When he hits, you can counterblast 1, retire him, and Spirit Call another Granblue from your drop zone. I think it has to be grade 3. No, it doesn't. It can be any Granblue, so as long as he hits. So he puts a lot of pressure in by giving that 4th attack. But the only reason I only play 2 is because, like I said, it's only good early game. It's kind of bad late game because even though it applies pressure, your opponents can be guarding everything you do anyway. So, and then the last card is 2 Undead Dragon. This guy is a 13k attacker at all times. But during the end phase of the turn that you play him, he dies automatically, and you can't stop it. So yeah, that's kind of bad. But what you can also do with him is counterblast 1 and kill a grade 2 and Spirit Call from drop zone. So if you have the resources, you can keep bringing him back every turn, or you can just keep using Cositis to bring him back. When do you play Cositis? It's up to you, really. I don't particularly like to bring him back every turn. I just bring him out when I can. But yeah, this is another MVP of the deck. It's a 13k attacker. Yeah, so sorry the video is a little shaky. On a really shaky like a table or desk. But yeah, so that's the Granblue deck profile. If you have any comments or questions, be sure to comment below. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching.